In this video, I will be attempting to recreate the sound of Kurt Cobain's K Strat, a guitar that is largely shrouded in mystery but was in the picture during a very pivotal point in Nirvana's story. Personally, Fender Stratocasters have become my favorite guitar model, and my favorite Kurt Strat is a tie between the Vandalism Strat and the K Strat. The Vandalism Strat really doesn't need an introduction, one of the most well-known and beloved Nirvana guitars, and some might even say one of the most recognizable Fender Strats just in general. The K Strat is not nearly as known or talked about, but I would argue that it played just as big as a role, maybe even a bigger role than the Vandalism Strat did. Let's go over what we do know about this mysterious guitar. It is most likely a Japanese ST-362 Fender Stratocaster. Kurt is on record saying he preferred Japanese Strats over American Strats due to their smaller frets. Its nickname comes from the K Records logo Kurt put on it. Most people say it's a sticker. I've seen some people suggest that he drew it on there with permanent marker. We'll probably never know for sure, but it's definitely its defining visual feature. This is a nod to the indie record label K Records that's based in Olympia, Washington. A highly influential label in the underground scene, Kurt was friends with the founder Calvin Johnson. And in the summer of 1990, he appeared on Calvin's radio show, Boy Meets Girl. That's where the much-loved Performance of Opinion comes from. It has its stock single coils, but the big mystery about this guitar is the humbucker. It's not known exactly which humbucker Kurt had in his K Strat, and that's arguably the piece that plays the biggest role in the sound that Kurt got out of that guitar. I've spoken with Nirvana guitar tech Ernie Bailey about this, and he believes that this pickup might have been either a Seymour Duncan Distortion or a Seymour Duncan 59, as those were the two pickups that Kurt was favoring at that time. It makes its first appearance on October 24th, 1990 in the UK, and it's presumably last seen on May 29th, 1991 at the Jabberjaw in Los Angeles, exactly one day after the Nevermind sessions ended. It's never seen again after this show, and it's widely believed that it was stolen that night. A bunch of significant shows and recording sessions happened in the stretch of time, most notable one of course being the Nevermind sessions. Given that Kurt was seen with it in LA the day after the sessions ended, I feel pretty comfortable betting that he had it with him at Sound City. To what extent it was used on the album, if at all, we don't know and probably will never know. But if we look at which guitars Kurt was using the most live in the shows immediately preceding the sessions, it was these two Strats. This is a super quick and brief overview of the K Strat's history. If you want to learn more details about it and the specific shows it was used at, check out my K Strat history video. I'll link it here and in the video description. In that K Strat history video, I introduced my first iteration of my K Strat build. This is a build I was really proud of at the time. It's the first one that I put together 100% by myself. At the time, it had a hardtail Squire body, Mexican Fender neck, Tex-Mex single coils, and Seymour Duncan 59B. I now have what you could considered to be technically a separate K Strat build, but this one is much better than my original one. It's still a Squire Strat body, but now with a standard Strat style bridge. Mexican Fender neck once again, the same Seymour Duncan 59B, and the most interesting part, in my opinion, are the single coils. They are both the leftover single coils from my two 90s Japanese Nirvana Strats. The neck pickup is from my ST-362 1-for-1 Vandalism Strat, and the middle pickup is from my ST-62 VMA Strat. So this has actual 90s Japanese single coils as Kurt's would have, they're just technically not from the same set. And when Kurt played Strats live in the Nevermind era, he would often use the neck pickup for quote-unquote softer songs, such as like Polly or About a Girl, sometimes even Lithium. So that ST-362 single coil sound, in my opinion, is pretty important for a Kurt Nevermind era Strat, so I'm really happy to have the leftover one in here and being put to good use. I went with the Seymour Duncan 59B as I kind of wanted to mirror my Vandalism Strat. I look at these as almost my yin and yang sticker Strats. Opposite colors and opposite Seymour Duncan 59s. I really enjoy the contrast between these two 59s. They are very similar yet different. The 59N is very bright and jangly, while the 59B has more low end and more growl, for lack of a better term. So while we don't know for sure which humbucker Kurt had in his K Strat, and we'll probably never know unless the actual guitar turns up someday, the 59B has done an excellent job at getting close to the tones from this time period. Ever since I completed the first version of my K Strat, this guitar will now automatically always make me think of the song Aneurysm. It just gets so close to that sound. It's so satisfying playing this song on this guitar. I also got a new K Records sticker from Nerdvana. My original one came from Redbubble, and I was never fully happy with it as one of the corners was always peeling. This Nerdvana sticker is much bolder, it sticks onto the guitar better, so overall I am much happier with this sticker. Just for fun, I did put my original sticker on the back of the guitar on the back plate to not just throw it away and get rid of it, but as you can see, that one corner still doesn't want to stick down. But if you want the superior sticker for your own K Strat build, I will link Nerdvana's store here and in the video description. I highly recommend them. Okay, that's been enough talking now. Let's get to the actual sound demo. I will be recreating Kurt's K Strat tone from October 25th, 1990 when the band played at Leeds in England. This is probably the show that we have the most consistent and clearest video footage of the K Strat being used. And the audio is pretty good too, which is why I chose this show to be the reference. Of the 18 songs Nirvana played, Kurt used the K Strat for 15 of them and his Mosrite Gospel for 3. This has always been really interesting to me because the Mosrite was obviously Kurt's favorite when he got it in the summer of 1990. But then this Strat enters the picture that fall and we see the Mosrite get demoted. We see it significantly less in contrast to how often it was being used that summer. I take that as really a testament as to how much Kurt really liked his first left-handed Fender Stratocaster. He'd go on to use Strats for the rest of his career. I will now be playing every riff that Kurt played on his K Strat that night, using my K Strat build, Fender Tone Master Twin Reverb that is being aided by my Mesa Boogie 5-band EQ pedal, and my Boss DS1. These are my settings. For a few of the solos, I'll be using my loop pedal to create a backing track of sorts, and sometimes even using my drop pedal just to emulate a bass for those backing tracks. This is visually one of my favorite guitars that I own. And I've tried every variation of the Seymour Duncan 59 throughout several different guitars, and the 59B would definitely be my favorite among them. I personally really love this tone and I'm excited to hear what you think of it. Let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
like a goo.
Thank you so much for watching, and an extra special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Nirvana Guitars, and subscribe and check out my other Nirvana gear videos right here on YouTube.